All right, we are live. I'm here with my boy Marvin and Jay the comedian, man. We about to get it in about this riot and this Mag MAGA and Proud Boys, all this other stuff going on over there at the Capitol. We're gonna talk about the white privilege also that we seen live in a little bit color. You understand what I'm saying? So see Jay ready to get it in, man. But
You
He rubs
already
his
we're gonna
hands
know.
like
start
the
off with
bird man.
yeah,
Rubs his
yeah.
hands like bird
Already
man.
know.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah, the bird.
Birdman.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, we gonna go. We're gonna start off with. I'm gonna start with Marvin though, man. What's your opinion about this, man? This going into the Capitol. You know what I'm saying? Because right now a lot of Proud Boys are trying to gaslight like that was Antifa doing that
Yeah.
mess. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to gaslight us. So what you gotta say about this, man?
Um. First of all, just to dig into deal with the question. Just to go ahead and say it wasn't Antifa. That's the thing.
Hmm.
And when I
Yeah.
first heard this argument, it's like, okay, you're saying that the man with the horns is a part of Antifa now, when all
Hmm.
along this fool has basically been counter protesting at Black Lives Matter events. Now all of a sudden
Hmm.
that okay, you had this movement, this goal that you had in mind with the storm the Capitol. Now all of a sudden it went wrong, so to say. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? The
Yeah.
the elite like Trump and Eric Trump and all of them, all of a sudden they didn't expect this to happen. They did not expect all
Hmm.
this to happen. But then
Hmm.
when this happened, it's like
You
all
sure?
those who
You
bone
sure?
rush. Just hold on. Just hold on. And then when all this stuff happened with with him and going there, now all of a sudden it's like they want to basically abandon. They want to basically revoke their Trump card. Now we
Hmm.
can deal with that now. Did they expect for this mess to for it to happen? I mean, do you think that they did or didn't expect it to happen? I mean, were they wanting this to happen, or
Yeah,
what
because
do
they
you?
all, well, y'all do because they all on code, man. You don't really have to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Trump can tell them anything without actually saying it. He knew what was up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But yeah. So what you got to say, Jay?
Man, about the whole thing, it's
Yeah, yeah.
from top to bottom, right? And I know a lot of people get turned off with the whole white privilege word, but that's what it was. And it was like a
Mhm.
combination of those two things, and it
Mhm.
equaled to a. It just had a devastating ending because, okay, first off, you got people who feel like because of their privilege, this country is theirs and it's being taken away from
Mhm.
them, and they have every
Mhm.
right to fight for it. Right? That's their privilege. Now, us
Yeah.
black people, right? We wouldn't dream
Mhm.
of attacking the Capitol building. We wouldn't dream about it
Oh
because
yeah,
we
yeah, yeah,
know
yeah.
if we make that
We know.
choice, we are putting our
Uh huh.
lives in danger. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
we-
Exactly.
we're going to be really hesitant about doing anything of that type of nature. But them, they're a
Yep.
different beast. They feel completely
Mhm.
safe doing it. People was
Mhm.
holding like they was stealing stuff from Nancy
Mhm.
Pelosi's
Yeah,
office
yeah.
and taking pictures of it like happily. Like,
Exactly.
hey,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
They felt completely
yeah.
safe and okay to do this, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that one
So.
white privilege right there. But then you have the officers who were like, yeah, come on in. The people in charge of
Mhm.
protecting the Capitol, the people in charge of making up the rules and regulations and making sure that there's a safety plan in case things go left. They didn't see
Mhm.
this large group of people as a problem until
Right.
it was too late.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
there's white privilege right there again. You see a group of
Exactly.
white angry men, and you're like, yeah, they're not a threat. Come on in, let's talk about
Mhm.
it. I'm sure you guys with the
Yeah.
spears and the horn hats and
Yeah.
and all these other
Mhm.
bad intentions. I'm sure
Yeah.
you guys won't be a problem.
Yeah, these are real patriots,
Mhm.
Yeah,
so to
these are
say.
you
This is
know,
what this is how they look at it. This is
yeah,
America.
y'all
These
ain't a
are
threat.
patriots.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
y'all was
yeah.
black, y'all'd be a threat. But y'all white, so yeah, come
Mhm.
on
But
through. It's
matter
all
of fact,
good.
is
It's
there
not a
not a
problem.
yeah? I ain't mean to cut you off, Jay, but is there not a video with black people having a protest and they're having I think somebody was speaking and they had like the whole. It's kind of you remember y'all played Grand Theft Auto before, right?
Yeah.
It's like automatically
Mhm.
as soon as black people, a lot of massive black people approach, they automatically you get like what 6 stars already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, right, right.
But with them, it's like yo, like they was rocking, man. They allowed them to come, and
Mhm.
then it's like okay, the thing that got me was how all of a sudden can they just walk? Don't they not have metal detectors before you can even enter into those types of buildings and things like
They
that?
Yeah,
wasn't
I would
supposed to
assume.
get that far. They wasn't
Yeah,
Yeah,
supposed
yeah,
to
yeah,
get to a. They have
yeah,
video of police officers open up brigade, like opening up fences and letting people in. Tell them, come on in, come in.
yeah,
They
mhm,
have
mhm,
like, and they had like maybe 5 officers like holding hands or something like that as this incredible crowd just pushed up into them. They were not
yeah,
prepared.
yeah,
They did not
they,
think that it was
yeah,
going to be a problem. They just knew that it was going to be a bunch of Trump people who are predominantly white, right? And they're like, yeah, it
yeah,
won't be a
yeah,
problem. Everything will be cool. We can handle it. And they
yeah,
didn't have any type of precaution set up to handle it because when they had the Black Lives Matter protests, if you remember the famous picture of all those soldiers standing on
mhm,
the Capitol stairs, like, yo, y'all ain't gonna have
yeah, yeah,
no issues. Y'all ain't gonna come over here at all. We ready for anything because
exactly.
Black Lives Matter, all black people, or a
Mhm,
predominantly large amount of black people. So they were prepared for us if it was us
exactly. Yeah,
going
yeah,
up, you know.
prepare. Yeah,
But
yeah.
them,
Didn't
they were underprepared.
yeah, but didn't some of them protesters have guns with them when they came up there?
Yep.
yeah. One of them was actually inside the Capitol with an AK
Oh,
47.
But after a
okay.
certain
So I
while, they
mean,
stopped fighting for the Capitol building. They just let them come in.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
too
So
many
it
of them. They
wasn't.
weren't
Yeah,
prepared.
and
So
he was
metal
not.
detectors,
Yeah.
any of that stuff, it didn't matter. People were just walking in. The
but
one guy with the horns, he was standing there talking
huh?
to a Capitol police officer holding a spear, and they was
That's
just
crazy.
talking to him. I'm just like, yo,
Okay,
this is
but
wow.
you okay, but I mean, whether prepared or not, at that building when Congress is in session and you have these people out here already mad, you're supposed to be prepared. That's supposed to be your job. You're supposed to have everything ready. And then even the National Guard didn't show up till later on. You know, because I mean, who's in charge of the National Guard? You know what I'm saying? That orange man is in charge of it, so he didn't send them out there. But when you have
No,
such a
Mike
tense
Pence
How about
crowd,
sent
this?
sent
How
him
about
out.
this? He never sent them out there. He never sent
Yeah,
them out there.
Mike
yeah, yeah,
Pence
Mike
called. Yeah,
Pence
mm,
ended up calling
yeah,
him out there. So the
yeah, yeah,
president of the United States, the man whose job it is to protect the United States, never at
mm,
one point called the National Guard. But when he was the
mm,
first to talk about, oh, I sent the National Guard to Chicago, Portland,
yeah, yeah,
Utah,
yeah, 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 yeah.
any and
Uh huh.
everybody. But when it's
Yeah.
his people, he didn't want to send the National Guard on his people. And
Mm,
even today, when the officer died, they lowered the flags at the Capitol to half mast,
mm-hmm.
and he took way too long to lower them at half mast at the White
That's
House.
crazy.
And I still don't think he called that officer's family. Nancy Pelosi and
Oh
Mike Pence
no, no.
called that officer's family. He still haven't.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, he not worried about that. I mean, even when he wanted to do that Bible holding at the doggone church, he had the National Guard go out there.
yo,
You know
that's
what
what
I'm
I
saying?
asked.
Right.
I asked that question. I think it was on my Facebook. Somebody on Facebook. I'm like, yo, why didn't he do a photo op in front of that church? Then during that time, that would have been the
Mhm.
perfect time to do it, man. Why didn't he go
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
Jesus around that time? Why didn't he sit there
Yeah, yeah.
and sit down in prayer? That goes to show you,
Yeah.
man. Like he's one of the biggest. He's a fake, and a lot of
Mhm.
these churches, man. The reason why they voted for Trump, these evangelicals, they talk about something that because he is God sent or he is he's a man of God and everything like that. Ain't no doggone man of God. Like, come on, man. I
Yeah.
just don't understand this,
Yeah.
man. Like, I
How
really
about this?
don't.
How
Yeah.
about this? He said, "Let's go to the Capitol building. I'll go with you."
hold up, hold
Yeah.
up. I gotta find this, man, because I have this video. Y'all go and talk while I pull this up, man. But I think I shared this video
Yeah.
today of what they were actually doing.
See,
Mm.
Which I've got a video.
Yeah.
Somebody actually recorded a video of what Trump and his people were actually doing while the mess was going on. And in reality, all they were doing was sitting down. They were watching.
Watching,
Oh,
yeah, watching,
I know the
watching.
video you're talking about. That was before it happened. They
Before,
were
but
That was
inside the
before. Oh,
green
okay.
room before they went on stage.
Uh,
It was Donald Trump
mhm.
Jr. and all them, right?
yeah,
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 that
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
before it happened. After it
But he.
happened, he went to the White House and he watched it on
Mm,
TV. And a bunch of the White House
well,
staff reported he was happy watching it. He was happy watching those people
that's
attack the Capitol. But it was
that's a damn
progressively
shame,
getting
man.
worse. It was progressively getting worse. In the beginning, he was like, "Yeah, go get him."
Mhm.
But as it
Yeah,
got
yeah.
bad, he's like, "Oh man, I ain't."
Yeah,
Like,
and that's
wait
why
a
I
minute,
said, yeah,
hold
that's why I
up.
said earlier that maybe they thought that it got out of hand for them. You know what I'm saying? They didn't
It
really
did.
understand the amount of power that they have
It
over these
did.
people, or how
Yeah.
people can really take their message and
Hey,
them gears start turning. They already messed up
Yeah.
in the brain because who makes up his base? A lot of them are undereducated, do not have a college degree. That means a lot.
mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? That means
I
a
love the
mm-hmm.
lot.
poorly educated. You remember he said that? I
Yeah,
love the poorly
he said he
educated.
lured a
Yeah,
poor
I would
because
I
love
they're
it
love
too.
it.
easier
Yeah,
to manipulate. They're
Yeah.
easier to
yeah,
manipulate.
yeah,
Why
yeah,
you
You
think?
know?
I was
yeah.
about to say
And,
something else, boy.
and
I
yeah,
was definitely about to
and you,
bring in that
yeah,
coat, boy.
yeah.
I'm like,
You
why
play on the emotions.
facts?
Yeah,
But
you play on the damn emotions. But I mean,
but
but they had to know. I mean, even still, like, it's a threat because you got to understand that they're getting ready to remove their president. And you know how, if you study history, man, you know how patriots, anyone who loves, so-called love this country, how they going to get violent. I mean, look at history, man. Civil War, anything that they don't like, they don't they don't march like us. Put it like that. These
Yeah.
individuals don't march. They do a revolution. They ready to shoot and kill because they will die for whatever they want. You know what I'm saying?
but
Yeah.
times have
But
changed though. Like people for the most part, while like okay, for the most part, people will they do listen to like government officials and stuff like that. But for the most part, people are just living their lives. Like people ain't out there trying to fight and like you know what I'm saying and hold a revolution. It takes a certain amount of brainwashing to get people to
Yeah.
that point now. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
Like I don't care. I
yep.
love
And
Barack
we
Obama, but if Barack Obama ever came out and was like, "Hey, we need a revolution. You need to go give your life." I'm like, "Hold on, OBZ. I don't know if I can do that."
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
If
But
Trump
okay,
won and Barack
okay,
said
but you
that, I
that
would.
when
Go
yeah,
ahead.
Trump
but
said
I
it, he
mean
got his
that
people brainwashed.
okay, but that's you. I'm talking about people. This certain group of people. They will actually arm themselves up and actually go and try to take over, as we seen on that. I mean, you and me, yeah, we're not gonna do it. We are sane people, but you have a group of people out there in this country, as you said, that feel they're losing their power, and when an animal feels cornered, it's going to go on a tax free, and that's what these people do. They go on a tax free. I mean, as you said, Jay, man, I mean, they feel they losing this country.
But it's
When you
like
feel
this
you're
though.
losing something,
But it's like this.
go ahead.
Like when it comes to brainwashing, right? And how powerful
Mm-hmm,
brainwashing is. They
mm-hmm,
don't think that they're doing anything wrong. They think that they're on
okay,
the right side because their brainwashing is so strong within them. So
mm-hmm,
this is the scenario.
mm-hmm,
You have somebody who's constantly for 4 years telling you things, right? He tells you to cut off the
mm-hmm,
media. He tells you to only listen to these people that say nice things about me. Oh, and the people
mm-hmm,
are doing it. They're doing it. So 4 years worth of brainwashing. It
Yeah.
gets to a point to whereas
um,
like it just like now he's saying go attack the capital and people do it because of the brainwashing. But you can tell it's brainwashing because after he did that in his concession speech right after that he said that they're
mm-hmm,
criminals and they're going to get
mm-hmm.
prosecuted.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
That's
just told
crazy.
them to
That's
do it.
crazy.
You just
Yeah,
told
you
them to
told him to
do
do
it.
it.
So
Yeah,
hold up now.
yeah.
So hold.
Well,
Let's bring
well
it back real quick. And so in that case, then that 14-year-old veteran, that woman, she's a criminal now. When she was going, she basically gave her life for this man.
Yep.
Left her
mm-hmm,
family in California, drove, well, did a video prior with her way on there to the Capitol building,
mm-hmm,
saying at how she was blaming Kamala Harris.
Yep.
She was blaming all these Democrats, Gavin Newsom, blaming everybody
Yep.
for reasons as to why California's in the condition that it's in. And she was
mm-hmm,
riding for Trump, and basically she gave her life. She was a
Yep.
sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
That is freaking
Yeah.
sad. Now it's not sad for her because I mean I'm like this. I say it plain and simple. Like that was dumb. It was stupid to leave your
Hey,
family behind
hey,
for
Marvin,
that.
say her name. Say her name,
I'm
Marvin.
not even gonna say nah. I'm not even gonna say her
You seen
name.
the
Like,
brother? They said say
yeah,
her
I seen
name,
that. I
man. Come
seen
on.
that stuff. That's a mockery.
The
That's a
reason
mockery.
the reason I feel bad for her, right? Now check it out. This is why I actually I feel really really bad for her because I know people who
Gotcha.
because of their beliefs do some dumb things like let their kid die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of what they believe. or let they self perish on the operating room table because of what they believe. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So she believed she was right. She believed she was fighting for something that was good because she was brainwashed. Somebody
Yeah.
took advantage of her. And after she died, instead of being like, I'm sorry, that's wrong, in the effort to save his own skin, he called her a criminal. Not he didn't call out by name, but he basically said the people
Yeah.
inside
She's.
of the Capitol was a criminal and they're gonna all get prosecuted. Which is crazy because he has the power to mass pardon all of them. But
Yeah.
because it would look bad for him and because it would probably put him in a little more trouble, he throwing them under the bus. He
So
charged
Yeah,
them
yeah,
up. He put
yeah,
that battery in
yeah,
their
yeah,
back to go do that, and then he threw
yeah.
them under the bus.
so hold up,
Mm-hmm.
man. So hold up, and this might be a little far fetched. This might be a reach. So do you think that a lot of these people they actually thought they could have been pardoned if they was to run up in this Capitol building?
I think so.
Be-
I think
well,
so.
yeah, because
You got
they
man,
do
look.
because no, because the president has the power to pardon individuals. As long as he president, he can pardon you, and that's the whole what do you call that? That's the whole um that's the whole thing that the president can pardon us. They
The,
probably did think that.
the
But
entire
they're
reason behind the pardon itself is because I don't know the years or whatever, but after the first Civil War or whatever, in an effort to come together, because we were supposed to like execute all the generals from the opposite side that committed an insurrection and treason against America. That's what was
Mm-hmm.
supposed to happen. But in the
Mm-hmm.
effort to bring the country together, they created the pardon, the presidential pardon, and he pardoned all the people on the opposing side in an effort to
Mm-hmm.
to bring the country together. So
Mm-hmm.
he has the power to mass pardon. He could have
Mm-hmm.
pardoned everybody. That was the entire part behind it. But instead of doing
Mm-hmm.
that, since he said they were criminals and they're gonna get prosecuted, he's not even going. They did all that, probably
Oh
thinking
yeah,
like, okay, if we
yeah.
overturn it or if we don't overturn it, the president gonna have our back and we
Uh
gonna
huh.
be cool. We ain't got nothing to worry about. He gonna just pardon all of us.
Exactly.
He threw them under.
Exactly. 'Cause, I mean, yeah, no. 'Cause, I mean, even when those people go into different stores tearing the mask thing down, they say I'm here with Trump. They think Trump is gonna get them out of jail for going to the store tearing it down because they tell them you got to wear a mask. That's how silly these people is. You know what I'm saying? But to go what you were saying, Jay, that they are brainwashed from 4 years ago. No, brainwashing is from birth, man. These people go back to Barack Obama, and I mean, a lot of Barack Obama is the main reason people voted for Trump. They felt they was losing the country when they seen a black man sitting in the White House. Like
yeah.
we need to get back into what it was. So it goes way back before Trump. It's just Trump was their great white hope that we're going to bring it back to what it was before Obama. We're going to eliminate everything Obama did. You know what I'm saying? And the whole thing about, it's just a whole mindset that this country is ours. We built it. This America, to me, in their mind, is a symbol of white supremacy to the world. We will die to keep this symbol alive. If we lose it, we're losing everything. They already scared they finna go extinct. I mean, not extinct. I probably over exaggerate, but they pretty scared they finna be the minority. You know what I'm saying? So
Well,
I mean,
in about
they're scared.
2050, they're yeah, in about 2050, they said that they're not even gonna be the majority anymore by 2050. If
Yeah,
things
yeah,
keep going on, like
yeah.
immigration and things of that nature, yeah, they're not even gonna
Hmm.
be the majority anymore by that time. It's just
Yeah,
data.
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
Man,
exactly.
at the end of the day, man, like I personally, um, just the way I look at racism, I know that a lot of white people, for the most part, I personally feel like the majority of people who are racist, right, who hate black people or who hate
Hmm.
another group of people, I don't think they outnumber the amount of people who. Shakar,
Dang,
stop
what you
being
got
crazy.
back there, man? Dang, boy, I tell you,
Damn.
not better not walk up in there,
Oh,
boy.
that. Yeah, I know.
Come here.
Trying
You
to
talking too much?
nail you.
That, no, that's Donald Trump looking through it. When Donald Trump came in, it's all like, "What you saying, boy?"
You want to stop being crazy while I'm on this podcast? Huh? Stop being crazy.
He came like that. He like Thanos came at the end of Infinity War through that thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is
Donald Trump claiming his house through the thing.
You want to stop being crazy? Huh? Give me 20 minutes.
oh,
She's crazy.
oh man,
Right?
look at her. I got it.
Yeah, she crazy.
Look, that's nice.
All right, sit, go. I don't know, go bite something. But as I was saying, I don't feel like the majority. Look at this. She going right back to where she was at. I don't feel like the majority of like white people in the world like have a problem with black people as like as soon as they see a black people, like, I don't think that is. But what I do think the problem is that historically black people in this country, we have not had an access to wealth and power. And since we don't have an access to wealth and power, when people that's not black run into us, they don't have a fear of us in the aspect, or not fear, a respect for us. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, if a homeless person walk up and kick your car, right? You're gonna be like, "Hey, don't kick my car again, man." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll beat you down. But if a presidential candidate walks up and kick your car, it's go. You might not even get out your car. You're gonna be like, "Well, I mean, I got my car kicked. I have nothing I can do against him. He has too much power. He is a threat to me." Like, a lot of black people cannot defend themselves financially. You know what I'm saying? We can't defend ourselves in court. We don't have a lawyer in our family tree. We don't have a doctor in our family tree for the most part. So when people look at us, like, even though you may not be like racist, because you don't have a respect for black people, and you know that like a lot of black people can't defend themselves in the courts or with money or with like suing power and stuff like that, we get taken advantage of. That's why if a cop pull us over, a cop could talk crazy to us. A cop can shoot us. What do you got to lose?
Oh, when it comes to that, then we've got to just obey the law, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we've got we've got to obey the law and stuff like that.
It's like they have it's nothing to lose by hurting us or disrespecting us or anything like that. So when it just comes to that, we as a people need to start to really get a good understanding on power and economics in this country. Like, we need to really like understand what making money is and how to do it, like financial literacy and stuff like that. That's the biggest thing we could do, because we'll never get people to like stop thinking that we're inferior until we like start to put ourselves in a position to win. You know what I mean? Like right now, we not really trying to win. Like, we got to want to win. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not talking about like being better than another race, but I'm just talking about being competitive. Like, we have to prioritize, like keeping money in the black community. We have to prioritize creating businesses and not spending our money on crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that way we build up our respect, and we get what we need. It fixes everything.
Okay.
Well, it's just like this. And Jamon, go ahead, Jamon. You good?
Yeah, go. No, go ahead. No, okay. I want to.
No. What I was saying was,
I don't want to cut you. I don't want to cut you out. Go ahead.
Oh, you good? But it's like this. Like, what I told, I laid down the rules, man. Like, I'm like, look, next Christmas, no. I told my wife's family, to everybody, no more toys. Send money so I can put it in a fat cat account. So I can put it in an account that they can build up money over time while they're little. You know what I'm saying? All this money that you giving and toys, stuff like that. Think of how much money is spent on the holidays and stuff like that. Regardless of how you look at, if you celebrate them, or not. But when people want to give toys and stuff like that, these toys, they be like $40, $50. Forget that. Send it the money that you're going to use to pay, because kids only play with these toys for like freaking not even a year, man. A lot of times they just play with it for about a couple of months and then get bored with it. If all those years you send them money, that money's going to add up. It's going to build up, and then that just teaches them how to leave the nest and fly. But we don't do that type of mess.
I get about the money, but I mean, check this out, man. If I were to give a pit bull money, and dress them up, would you be any less scared of that pit bull?
He's still a pit.
Yeah.
Exactly. So in their mind, no matter what money black people have, we still a black person. And throughout this country, we have never been viewed as human. We have been viewed as a beast, and we've been viewed naturally as evil and wild. So in their mind, we're not really human. We're a subhuman beast that they gotta tame. So when they come towards us, and that's why they can kill us, and they don't think any because you just killed a wild animal. That's why you can get
Yeah.
more sympathy over a dog getting beat than a black man getting killed because in America's mind, black men are not actually human. We're subhuman, we're wild, and we're naturally evil. And we will kill you and rape their daughters if we had the chance because that's in our nature. So if you give us
Yeah.
money, it's good to have money, but whether you give a person money, it's not going to change your view of that person. It just means that they have money. You know what I'm saying? This whole racial ideology of black people is going back way before the doggone 16th century. You understand what I'm saying? They do that way before. Even I mean, when you walk up to, I mean, even sometimes when we see a whole group of black men out, we get tense as black people because we've been programmed to think that way also. You know what I'm saying? I agree with the
Yeah.
money and things like that, but just having money does not change a person's view of you because they still, as a black person, they still view you as less than and innately evil. You see what I'm saying? Naturally
Like, do you mean
wild
they?
and
Do you think
dangerous.
they believe that? Do you think? Two questions. Do you think that they believe that subconsciously or overtly? That's one. And two, do you think the majority of white people believe that, or not even white people, just
Yeah,
the majority of people who are non-black believe that?
yeah. I do. I actually do. I think that subconsciously they do view us as less than and actually wild and dangerous. They view that because of what they see on the media, and the majority of white people none do not hang around us. For the most part, America's still segregated. You go into different schools and things like that. The only people hanging around us is mostly us. You're gonna have like rejects of other society might come live with us. You know what I'm saying? You have the what's that Catch Me Outside chick and doggone all these
He
other
said, "Catch
M&Ms
me
and things like
outside,
that.
chick."
They grew up. Those are the people that's rejects. But for the most part, majority of us don't hang around us. So what they know about us is what they see on TV, and what they see on TV and news portray about us is that we are just animals. So when they go busting us during the crack epidemic of the 80s, they bust into the doors of us. They didn't see them busting the doors of humans trying to live. They seen us bust people as criminals, robbers, and they're going to come in your neighborhood and rape you and rob you and rape your daughters.
Mm. Now, because like the way I view the world, it's mostly it's like this, right? Like while there are rules and institutional things set up, like specifically to keep slavery going. Like right now, I think that we're all slaves still, basically. The
Hmm.
ones who
Yeah,
haven't
yeah,
like gotten to a certain point in life, if you think
yeah,
about
yeah.
what slaves used to do back in the day, we still doing it. But except for they
Mm-hmm.
figured out you can't keep somebody enslaved physically. You have to enslave them mentally. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes,
Because if I
yes.
can see the chains, I see my goal. I have to break these chains. They own me. They right here. I can see them. They're straining me like I don't want them off me. They uncomfortable. But when the
Mm-hmm.
chain is up here, you might not even know it's
Mm-hmm.
there. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
this is something they learned a while
Yep.
ago. So if you think about like what people used to do back in the day, right? And you say, oh, the janitors, the people who clean the houses, who take care of the babies, who do majority is still colored people doing that. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
gosh.
so we
Yeah.
still doing the same things we was doing when we were slaves, except for now we get paid for it. We get 401ks.
Yeah.
Uh, somebody may go to jail if they kill one of us, like little things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
something I learned a long time ago is the best way to keep somebody slaves is to tell them that they free or get them to
Mm-hmm.
believe that they free. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the best thing to do. But as
Yeah.
far as like what goes on right now, I see personally like people who put their head down and who ignore the foolishness and who ignore the brainwashing and stuff, and they put their head down and they succeed in life. They still had to struggle.
Mm.
If you black, you're gonna feel it in some type of way. Like
Yeah.
you may have to work
Mm-hmm.
harder and better to get the same level as somebody else that's not black, but you can get
Mm-hmm.
it. It's there to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
if
yeah.
you try to get
Oh
it. Like
yeah,
it's
yeah, most definitely.
harder. You
Yeah.
got to skip a lot. You got to ignore a lot of brainwashing to get to that point because the goal of
Is it?
America is to keep you in a position of a non-competition person. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
they just
Yeah.
want all the stuff to be like if it's a competition, it's supposed to be white versus white, not white versus brown. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's the
yeah. Yeah,
way
yeah.
American uh, success is set up. But with
Mhm.
that said, we still have the power to get it if we want to. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Oh
and,
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and for the
Yeah.
most part, and like I say, for the most part, I don't believe that like white people now majority have a problem with black people. Like they do
Mhm.
have a lack of respect. I want to say with black people on a majority.
Mhm.
There's a lot of racist people, but I think as far
Mhm.
as a majority, you'll quicker run into somebody who finds out like, man, I didn't know I felt that way about black people. Like I found that out a lot. I see that a whole lot because somebody
Yeah.
they'll wait till they're in the park or something and they're trying to walk their dog and they get into it with a black man and then it's, oh, you're attacking me, I'm calling the police. You know what I mean? But I bet you all her
Yeah.
life she thought she wasn't like that. She thought that
Mhm.
she didn't have
Yeah.
a problem, and it wasn't until
Yeah, yeah.
she was actually in a position to face her anger that she was like, "Oh man, well, turns out
Mhm.
I don't respect black people. I have no respect
He's
for
to my
them.
old girl.
Mhm.
You already know."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
That
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
very
if
interesting
you,
right there. That's
I
a very. I
Yeah, yeah,
guarantee,
mean,
exactly.
I guarantee you,
Yep.
she ain't got. She might not even be a Trump supporter. She probably might be just a regular person who ain't got no
Mhm.
hate, who ain't got no like I hate black people posters. No, like she probably was just a normal person who had who just realized something about herself. And I think that's what a lot of people need to work on. Not being like,
Mhm.
because if you call somebody racist, it brings down that door and it stops them
dang,
from
what keep
listening
doing
because they go
this?
right on the defensive. They like, I ain't racist. What you
Mhm.
talking about? But if you tell
Oh yeah,
people to,
yeah.
Yeah, I have a
check
couple of friends that are.
check
I have a couple of friends that's black. I'm not racist.
Yeah, I
yeah,
have
That's
a
how
couple
that's the
friends
number one
black. Yeah,
thing they say. I'm not
yeah.
racist. I got a
exactly.
couple of friends that's
Yeah,
black.
your friend
Yeah,
is black. Yeah.
You gotta ask
Yeah.
deeper questions than that. Because my thing
Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
you could tell whether or not your mind not white as far as like black people is what type of conversations you have when you see a black person. Do you go up to them and
Mhm.
you like, man, you see the game? The game was good. Like, yo, I
Mhm.
do more than the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm into finances. I'm
Mhm.
into like building
Yeah.
like income and being financially literate and doing stuff like that. I'm not just a sports fanatic, but
yeah.
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Like little stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like if they
Mhm.
say little stuff like,
Yeah.
oh wow, you speak so proper,
Uh-huh.
all these like
Yeah.
microaggressions and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
If
yeah.
you
Or
doing that,
can I yeah, no, they go to a black girl. Oh, can I touch your hair?
all
Hey,
that,
don't you
like
got your own hair touch? Yeah,
all
yeah.
those little microaggressions right there
Mhm.
prove that your mind may not be right. Your mind may not be in
Mhm.
like in the right spot. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
little
Yeah,
stuff like
exactly.
that, little stuff like that is what they could work on. But in the meantime, I think we got a lot of work to do on ourselves, like a
Yep,
lot
yep.
of
Yeah,
inside
exactly.
looking in the mirror work we need to do because
Yeah.
once we fix ourselves, there's nothing we can do. Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Most definitely. Yeah. So I think Melvin trying to show something. What are you trying to show, Melvin? Let me see. I'm gonna share the screen real quick.
Man, this dude always call me Melvin. You seen Melvin anywhere, man?
Oh my,
So
oh, my bad, Marvin, man. My bad,
you
Marvin, man.
good,
I'm just
man?
used to calling him
I wanted
MKT.
to I wanted to show this video right here of the of our Capitol Police working tirelessly, man. Like they did such a good job, man. I'm about to play it. Let me know if you can hear it now. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
hear
it's
it.
like whistling, like
All right,
it's like
so
whistling.
yeah, that's the bit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what
Sound
was
like
going
the
on.
alarm.
That's how loud it was. So I'm gonna make it.
Okay.
Can you see it in full? Hold on. It's a little bigger. I want you to
Oh yeah,
listen
yeah.
to
You
what
can
they
see it now.
said. I want you to listen to what they said. Now, this the press. They was able to work their way in here into the count. Listen.
What's about to happen?
What?
I'm pressed.
No, you can't come in. Nobody can come in.
You saw that? What they told them, man?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So I mean, it's what I think what happened. The reason I'm showing is because this was my hypothesis. When it first happened, they said they let them in there. This is what I think happened,
Mhm.
man. The Capitol Security Force actually had an inside coup. In other words, they actually had some of them that were for this or that allowed this to happen or that were part of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then you had the ones that were guarding the politicians and everybody else. They weren't down for it, or they probably did. I don't. They had to have known about this mess, man. I just don't know. I don't know how in
Mhm.
the world they did. They kept from the top. I really don't.
Mhm. Yeah.
On
I
some
mean,
level, they knew
Yeah.
about it, but at the same
Yeah.
time, though, like they, a lot of them gave up. Like I have a
Mhm.
video. I should show it, but I have a video of them talking to Capitol police officers, telling them, "Look, we're not here to hurt you. We don't want to hurt you, but you're gonna need to
Mhm.
get out the way because y'all in the way right now. We try to make this move."
Mhm.
And the Capitol
Yeah.
police got out the way. They left, and as soon as they left, about 30 seconds later, that woman got shot. As soon as
That's
they, and
yeah,
I
crazy.
got the video of it. I got the video. As soon as they left, as soon as they, because they all like they walked away. They like, oh well, I guess we can't stop them. And the woman tried to go through that little like broken glass, a broken window,
oh
and the officer
yeah,
Uh
popped
huh.
her. So, like, and it all happened immediately. Like
That's crazy.
they didn't even see the Capitol Police officer behind that glass wall, that glass door with his gun out. They didn't see it until they
Mhm.
started really, really banging on that glass trying to get in, and
Yeah.
they started banging on the glass like that after the police officers left. So when they walked off, the people just started like banging, banging, banging. Officer upped his gun and was just pointing at it. And as soon as
yeah,
that lady hopped up there, he shot in her throat, and that was it. I'm
yeah.
like,
It was
dang.
yeah, and they're mad. They're upset about that.
Yeah.
But they're not going to say that that she's part of Antifa. They're not going to say that. Oh no.
Well, Trump is. Trump threw her
Yeah,
under the bus.
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Most
just
definitely.
crazy.
Yeah.
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 Her
Yeah,
family is like,
Yeah.
why did they didn't know
What
that she was even going in there? Like, why did she even do that? Yeah,
yeah.
that's what her family was
was she?
saying.
Wait. Was she Antifa?
No, she wasn't. She was,
Oh,
No.
okay. I'm about to say. Yeah. I'm
nah,
about to
she was a Trump supporter, like
Yeah.
from.
Mhm.
I mean, she was Trump
Oh yeah. Most
supporter,
definitely. Yeah.
QAnon, like
Yeah.
she believed the craziest of the crazy stuff, and that's what
Yeah.
she was
Exactly.
on, like 100%. So
Exactly.
she sacrificed her
Yeah.
life for a really bad reason, but I
Yeah.
mean, what can you do, man?
Yeah. She died what she believed in. But you know what's interesting though? When we had the protest last summer, over 1,000 people got arrested. Right?
Yeah.
Oh
How many people
yeah,
got
I heard
arrested
you
that
got to
day?
pay 12,
Yeah. How many people got
12.
arrested that day? Yeah. Yeah.
12.
And then now they're looking for him. Now they're looking for him. So you
Yeah,
let him go, and now you're looking for him. Yeah,
yeah.
that's crazy to me. So that to me, that's like white privilege there. You know what I'm saying? And
And
then
you
you
know,
had
ain't no
smoke
cameras
bombs.
in the Capitol building. It's no cameras inside of the Capitol building, like none.
That's crazy.
Well,
That
I
is
mean, it's
crazy.
in the hall because well, you gotta think about it. Like they're United States officials all up and through there. You can't have
Hmm.
cameras recording video and audio up in there. You like if you had a camera in like Nancy Pelosi office and she started like doing the hokey pokey or something like that, and it leaks to the press. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a whole bunch of stuff can happen. Or if you have
Yeah.
somebody up in there having a meeting, and you know how they be talking crazy and like the stuff we don't hear about is crazy.
Uh huh.
The people that
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
meet with, the crazy characters that come around. If you saw a video of that, it would like
Mm.
it could really shake up what's going on in America. So no, there's
Yeah.
no cameras, there's no recording
Hmm.
devices anywhere in there. That's why all if you
Wow.
notice all the pictures you're seeing is cell phone footage from people
Cell
who
phone.
brought cameras and stuff inside of there. You're
Right.
not seeing
Wow.
you haven't seen one security video from inside the Capitol building,
And this
right?
and this is
That's
why, in a sense, they're
that's
really
crazy.
stupid. And this is why I've said this on a video that I just released on my channel about them not understanding. They're not ready for a revolution or a civil war. Reason why I'm saying this is because you would think you would tell your followers, don't bring no type of camera equipment if you're going. Since our goal, don't bring nothing. Don't bring nothing that's going to get out to the web.
Yeah.
These people, this is the thing, man. Like these people, they think that they can start a
But
revolution, do this, that, and the third. But here it is. They think, oh, all we need is guns. All we need is goods. No, fool. You need to weigh your options. Have you stocked up on your high
mm,
blood with Jumanji? I've said this before, and Jade, you probably never heard me say this, but I always say this. Have you stocked up on your high blood pressure medicine? Can you run a mile? Have you been working out? Are you ready? The majority of them overweight, barely hanging on and stuff like that. Like, yeah, this is the problem, man. They don't know what they're really asking for, man. They
well,
just don't know.
actually, Marvin. Well, actually, can you hear me, Marvin?
No,
It
you
looked like
good.
my
Yeah.
screen is jumping. No,
No,
does
you
my
straight.
screen jumping?
I don't
No, you
Oh,
know.
okay.
good.
Well,
You good.
actually, a lot of white nationalists have actually infiltrated the police department and the military.
Mm-hmm.
So they might be
You mean
out of shape,
started the
but they have,
police department? Some of them,
He said,
huh?
yeah,
like
he
this
said
is
started.
started. Some of them,
Oh,
like
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah,
infiltrated, like
yeah,
their
yeah,
entire. I've
yeah.
seen it. Yeah,
So, yeah, so they are trained in combat. So they might be out of shape, but trust me, they're trained in combat and they have
Right.
intel that a lot of us don't. And so that's the scary part.
Yeah. Yeah, it
So
is.
if they were to have something pop off today, they would be ready because they have that training and they have the mentality already. They're ready right now. They're so ready. They're just waiting for a reason
Right.
to go out there
And
and act the fool.
that's it.
yeah.
That's
And then
actually really true because
yeah.
it's a lot of people out there, especially those second amendment people. That's all they
Right.
Hmm.
do is
Yeah.
shoot
Yeah, yeah,
and work out and do stuff like that and prepare in a crazy head for one day just going out and just
mm,
murdering people. Like
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I
They just
mean
need
when it
one
comes to
word. They
that,
need one word to go out there. Hmm.
right. That's how dangerous this was, man. But yeah, let's talk about since we're talking about that, whole censorship thing, man. Is it like do y'all think
Wait,
it's
you
right?
want to show a video or something? Well,
I was gonna. I can show this video because I mean I'll show this last one on this subject because this goes to show you how the
oh,
police, what Jada comedian said about how they just gave up
yeah,
because they did fight. Some of them they did. Some of them did. But I'm gonna play it real quick. This
yeah.
was once they was defeated, man.
Hmm.
Go, go, go.
See that? What that flash bang grenade or something?
yep,
Wow.
Go, go,
flash.
go.
That's where the officer got beaten and killed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. So much for Blue Lives Matter, y'all. So much for
yeah,
I
Blue
know,
Lives
right?
Matter.
I know,
yeah.
right? So much for Blue Lives Matter. So this whole, we could this be the final topic of this the censorship thing and freedom of speech.
Hmm.
The things that they talk about, they're saying that he shouldn't have Trump's Twitter should not be banned. It's against his freedom of speech. How can people say that when they don't understand that these social media accounts, they're private businesses. This is a service.
Hmm.
Just how we're on
Yeah.
StreamYard, we have an account with StreamYard. Just like how you can get on Facebook, social Twitter, and all this other stuff. They are businesses. The problem is that for one, a lot of people don't read the actual terms of service. You're so eager, way back when you started your account, so eager to get it
Uh-huh.
started that let me just check that box. They don't know that
Yeah, yeah.
they can on Twitter they can actually remove your account by no reason at all.
Hmm.
They can do that. They have that right to.
Uh-huh. Yes. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
how do people actually how come they cannot actually how come they do not know this first of all? What's going on with that,
It's because I'm white and I said so. I mean, when we was sitting at the football field kneeling, and not we, when we were kneeling for the flag, that's freedom of speech. But they
Mhm.
had to deflect and doggone what do you call that? Disrespect the doggone flag. Everything is freedom of speech, man. But I mean, still, it's certain places you could do freedom of speech at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can't go. Trump can't go into no place talking like he talk on Twitter. You can't. It's certain places you can't do things. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You have freedom of speech, yes, but certain places you can't do it.
But yeah, you gotta realize a lot of these people, they really, like you say, they don't read, right, Marvin? Like
Yeah.
it's more than that. They just feel like they own everything. Like
Hmm.
Mhm.
if you go inside of a business and they say, "Hey, you can't be in here without a mask," then you leave. You take your business
Hmm.
somewhere else if you don't like that.
Exactly.
You can't say I'm in
Exactly.
America. You can't hold me back. Like, yeah, you're in
Yeah.
America,
Yeah.
but you're in my store. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody
Yeah.
comes over my house and I'm like, "Hey, you gotta take your shoes off," I'm in America. I ain't gotta take my shoes off. You get
You think
punched in the face. You kicked out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
that's not how it works. Once you enter
Exactly.
somebody's private place of business or private residence, you have to oblige by those rules as long as they don't
Right.
break
Exactly.
the overall constitution. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
So
Mm-hmm.
if your rules is that inside here you got to wear a mask, it's nothing about America. You're not in America. You're in
Yeah,
my
yeah,
store.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty
Like,
much, pretty
like
Yeah,
much it.
exactly.
if you owned a business and I came in there with no pants and no drawers on, can I be like, well, this is America? No,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
gonna
it's
say, bro, get
America.
out. You
Yeah,
you
Exactly.
you're hurting my business, like because other
right.
people in
Mm-hmm.
here don't want to see that. In the same way, other people
Mm-hmm.
inside of the store don't want to be in the store where people walking around and could possibly transmit COVID-19 more easily. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it's
Mm-hmm.
dumb. And the same people are saying that Donald Trump is being censored in his First Amendment right. Well, I'm sure Donald Trump could create his own website. And first off,
This
Donald Trump
bump.
is literally the last person in the world who could be censored. If Donald Trump wanted to, he could have every TV, computer, freaking iPad, cell phone have his face on there right now because he can order it.
Hmm.
He could say,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to do my fellow Americans type thing," and every news station would
Mm-hmm.
have to cover it. Every
Yeah. Stay.
sporting event, I don't care if they playing the Super Bowl, they would have to stop it and let him speak. He could literally
Uh-huh.
order that. So
yeah,
don't tell me,
Yeah.
oh, you're trying to censor the president. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's not how that works. He cannot
Yeah. Yeah.
be censored.
Yeah.
So it's just people
That's
like,
crazy.
they choose to. I'm tired of pretending or trying to act like they don't know what they're doing or they don't know what they're saying or they just ignorant of the law. They do. This is just the current argument because I've seen those people make
Yeah.
some of the biggest, most like hypocritical statements, and they did it effortlessly.
yeah,
So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh,
Yep.
you know what you're doing, but you just say whatever's convenient for your convenient argument. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it just
Yeah.
comes
Exactly.
down to what's convenient. Right now, it's they're censoring Trump. But if it was like somebody like Barack Obama, if they deleted Barack Obama's Twitter page, what would they say? Oh well, you can't do
Oh
what you
well.
want on somebody's private page.
yeah,
Like
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
so
Exactly.
it's not that they really ignorant of it. They just hypocrites, and this is the argument that supports their cause currently. You know what I mean?
Wasn't didn't they censor
Yeah. Exactly.
so-called
Yeah.
censor Farrakhan? I believe or something
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
like
they
that.
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He got.
Yeah,
Yeah. He got
yeah.
kicked off. Yeah. Yeah.
He
He got
got
kicked off.
kicked off of all platforms. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
And
because he
I
was
don't
telling
remember
them.
anybody on on the right saying, "Oh, what? Yeah, how
Yeah,
Yeah.
dare you do that? You're
Yeah.
taking away his freedom of speech." I don't remember
Speak.
hearing that not one
yeah,
time. Not
yeah,
one
exactly.
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Do
Exactly.
you think I care about Farrakhan getting censored? I'm just like I've always had this view. Like I'm like, look, if a social media website wants to kick you up, yeah, they can do that. I still see videos of
Mm-hmm.
him on YouTube. You could
Mm-hmm.
if he gets his own app and has his own website, whereas you can go on his website, you can download the app so you can listen to him. That's it,
Yeah. Exactly.
because they own
Yeah.
that.
And he.
But yeah,
Yeah. And he got his own religion, so he don't really need social media. That's for unbelievers. Truthfully told, social media is for unbelievers. If you really believe Farrakhan, you're gonna have your behind at his meeting to listen to him.
But it's
You know what I'm
more. You get
Hey.
more people though. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
without social media, you don't have as long of a reach. But this is the problem. Like I say,
Yeah.
this is another reason why Black people need to understand how economics work. Because as long as there's somebody above you on any level, you're in
Mm-hmm.
subjection to that person. Like let's say, okay, I'll create my
Mm-hmm.
own app. Okay, well, who gonna host it? Because if you're doing something on that app
Mm-hmm.
that they don't like, they gonna end your hosting. So like,
Yeah,
all right, well, I'm gonna
exactly,
host
yeah.
my own app. Okay, well, what provider are you gonna use to host that app? You know what I mean?
yeah,
And it
Mhm.
goes so
Yeah.
on and so forth. It's literally to the point to whereas we need to launch our own satellite into outer space. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
own
Yeah. Most definitely.
freaking network that nobody
Yeah.
else can control and touch for us to do our own stuff. And
yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta stop. We gotta
Yep.
stop this like being mad at these like platforms for doing whatever they want on their platform because
Yeah.
they can do whatever they want on their platform. If we
Yeah.
want to do better,
Exactly,
we have
yeah.
to do better, and it has to. And it
Yeah.
can't be like one step above. We have to literally get it out the mud if we want something
Mhm.
that's 100% ours and it can't nobody take from us.
yep,
Exactly. Most definitely. Yep. Most definitely. You
And
know,
guess
and
what?
also,
Trump is one of the few people in the world who could actually do. He could literally launch a space shuttle, a satellite out of space, and have his own
Yeah.
network, and then have
Yeah.
millions of
What he
followers.
told dude? What he
Well,
told the dude? Raffensperger? Nah, it's Trump media. That's what we
Yeah,
gotta do.
facts. I
hey,
got it from
I
Trump
don't
Media.
know.
So
Truthfully, I don't know if I would want Trump satellite. Everything Trump touches, it fails. He had
yeah,
casinos that went bankrupt,
yeah,
doggone his hotels. So I don't know if he wants lunch. That thing might fall out the doggone sky. Everything Trump touch, it
it will.
fails.
Oh, I guarantee it. It's fit
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah,
fall out. And it's not.
that's
It
the
ain't gonna. It ain't
Yeah.
gonna like safely fall in the ocean too. It's gonna like
Yeah.
take out the Eiffel Tower or something. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like,
And that's
like
just
that's
Uh-huh.
how
that's
the
just
bad
crazy,
Trump stuff
man.
go. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then it kills somebody. Trump. He kills somebody. What supporters gonna say? Antifa shot that down. You know what I'm saying?
And
Yep,
Tifa brought it
yep.
down.
It's
And you
it,
joking, but
yep.
Yeah,
I'm
Antifa brought
dead
it down.
serious. I'm
Yeah,
dead
it's like
serious.
it's like okay, it's like this, man. Like with them, it's so many. There's so many parallels you can put them next to JWs, man. There's so many parallels. Like they'll say that Antifa's kind of like the apostates. You sit there and you quote 1974 Kingdom Ministry. They'll go back and say,
Mhm.
"Oh, well, the apostates wrote that." I've actually seen it. They say that, "Oh, the apostates
Mhm.
wrote that." You interpreted that way. That's not really what was said. He didn't say that. Just like when
Yeah.
Trump said, for instance, when Trump said that the COVID-19 affects virtually nobody. So I repeated that to somebody. He said, "No, he didn't say that. You can't understand what he was actually saying. You think he would really say that?" Gaslighting. So
Yeah,
it's
gaslighting.
just
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's just
yeah,
so many.
gaslighting.
Have you read the book by Stephen Hassan, The Cult of Trump?
I haven't read it, but I've literally heard about every page in there. Like, cause they broke it
Yeah,
down so many times. I haven't
Yeah.
personally read it, but yeah, I heard about
yeah. I ordered it this year. I used to cite it a lot of times. 'Cause I read one or two pages out of it, but I actually told the XJW, we was having a discussion. XJ up in the discussion group on Facebook. So Stephen Hassan, he's the one that came up with the bite model. Dealing with cults and stuff like that, right? He's deemed as radical left. Radical leftist now. So he's radical left when he talks about he's radical left when he talks about Trump, but when he talks about Watchtower, he's held in the limelight. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's,
it. Yo, now
Yeah.
that's gaslighting on a whole nother
Yeah,
level. Right?
exactly.
I'm telling
Exactly.
you,
That's
it's
crazy,
like,
man.
yo, I will tell people straight up
But
that I have quirks with Obama. Okay, I'll be straight. Like I feel as though like he was too lenient on the GOP. They got 900 seats.
That's facts.
They gained 900 seats under him.
That's facts.
Okay, in a sense, they built up their base based on Obama, and one thing I cannot wrap my head around is that how could they hate the man so much when, with him in office, he built them up in a sense.
Well,
They,
this is why Obama for the first 2 years, right? He should have been on them, on their neck, right? He should have been on them and like doing because he had the House and the Senate.
yeah,
But because it was the recession of '08, because he was trying to fix that,
yeah,
the first 2 years he was making some hard choices.
Right.
And you have to make hard choices when you're trying to fix the economy. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to make some unpopular decisions. You're gonna have to do things that's contrary to what the majority of people want you to do because you're trying to fix something at this point. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because he did that, and people aren't intelligent enough to understand that he lost the House and he lost the Senate, and he never got it back for the rest of his term there. And while he lost the House and the Senate, they were up in there just confirming only the people they wanted to confirm. Because
Yeah.
whenever he sent somebody there, he sent a Supreme Court justice in there, and they was like, "Nah, we straight."
Um,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they just took, and it's not his fault. That's not his fault at all. You know what I'm saying? Like the only thing that I blame him for is those 2 years when he could have really pressed them. But I
Yeah.
understand why he didn't know, because he's like,
Right.
yo, I'm already gonna be doing stuff that's like kind of it's gonna be hard for people to understand or like, you know what I'm saying? But it gotta
Right.
be done because we gotta fix this economy. And he did succeed in fixing it.
Yeah, he
and,
did.
and a bunch of other stuff. But since he lost the House and the Senate, you gotta remember the first thing Mitch McConnell said when he got the majority is, we are going to make Barack Obama a one-term president. Meaning
Yeah.
anything he tries to get done any and everything he tries to get done and pass, we're gonna block it. We're gonna pause it. We're not gonna bring it up for a vote. You know how many items is on Mitch McConnell's desk right now that he never brought for a vote? He
Yeah,
said it
I know.
himself. He's like, I'm
It's
the Grim Reaper.
Goodness.
it's
When
like
bills come to me,
167 articles of legislation that he never did.
yeah, he never
Yeah,
brought for a vote. He called
yeah,
himself the Grim Reaper. He
yeah,
like when it come to me, I'm like, nah, it's gonna die right here.
yeah.
And
Because
that's
in a sense, it's kind of like
Yeah.
the Republicans want to keep. It's like this, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is how I look at it because I'm really new to politics. I didn't really start getting into politics and reading about this stuff until like things started getting serious, so to
Hey,
say. But like it seems to me that when you have the left, they want to strive for change, but it's like the Republicans, they want to keep things at a standstill and keep it back in a sense. And what I mean is they don't want things to change, whereas you have people that are necessary immigrants or either black people from getting things that they need or making it easier for them to get on the same level as the people at the top. That's kind of like what I
mm,
see from this little tenure of me actually really getting into politics. But before, I was all on just religious stuff. You know what I'm saying? Religion and history.
mm,
But that's what I'm
yeah,
getting at now. And actually, it's kind of made me better. And I said, it made me a better researcher also, too. And actually know what's really going on. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Which side to act. And knowing that I've chosen the right side of history, so to say, the right people in history
hmm
to follow. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Yeah, so that's what I
yeah,
get
yeah,
from it,
yeah,
and that's basically how
yeah.
it is, right? In a sense, it's like
what
people that's say Republican want to keep things at a standstill or keep it back.
well, this is the
No.
thing about
Oh, go ahead, Jay.
this is the thing about a lot of like the Republican Party, right?
Hmm.
So in all of the big cities, the huge cities, where it's a lot of people, and we're forced to work with each other and compromise and figure stuff out because there's so many of us together. We have to have something that works. All of those places are routinely Democratic. Shakur, stop being crazy.
Hmm,
The reason for that is because the democratic model usually is something that the majority of people could like. Now, when you think about like a lot of the Republican districts and towns like that, they're small. They're
Yeah, they're on
spread
the
out.
outskirts.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
mm,
people, they need more specific things. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And if they're
mm,
not getting that, they're unhappy. They're not forced to have to work with everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And because of that,
mm,
they don't they're not really pushing the needle forward. They're not pushing humanity
mm,
forward because they don't have to interact with a lot of humanity. That's what the Republican
That's
Party
why the
is.
majority of Democratic areas are held like in cities, like cities.
Yes,
Cities.
exactly. Because
Yeah,
mm,
we're forced to have to work with each other.
and then we are forced to work with each other
mm,
in order to work, in order to converse. Then you have to have some type of understanding. Like for
Exactly.
instance, I live in
mhm,
Raleigh, North Carolina, so you already automatically know that when people come to work in the city to work, you're you working around you're working around Satanists, you're working around freaking Christians. Everybody's working all together. I mean, just I think when we took down the when we hung the Confederate statues, we hung them. Jay, do you know about that? What they did down here in Raleigh? They hung the Confederate.
Yeah, I
They
saw
tied
that.
a they tied a noose around the Confederate
I'm
statues
like,
neck,
yo,
drove it down
wow.
the street, and hung
that's
it
fine.
and strung it on a light post. So and then right after that, we go downtown. My family go downtown to eat breakfast and stuff like that. And literally, the Christians were there. They had was dragging a cross down the street. And then they said, "Well, we're coming out here tomorrow because the Satanists they're having a rally out here tomorrow." So my point is that you have different people. Just to add on to what you're saying, Jay, different people from different walks of life have to learn how to work together. There's some people still have to work together. So in that exchange, sooner or later, people are going to actually understand one another. So there's more understanding in Democratic areas. Now in the Republican areas, that's mostly red, your backwoods country, they may work at the corner store or something like that. So then everybody basically is on the same page, so to say. They don't have the time they cannot really understand other people's walks of life because that's really what we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
Different
Mm,
walks of life.
Yeah. Yeah. And they don't, and because they never
mm,
had to Like they were never forced to like figure it out. They they don't get the new advancements in life. They don't get how when somebody says, like, I'm a homosexual. I've been a homosexual all my life. And because our society, we've been around a lot of people who've been homosexual and stuff like that. We know how to deal with that now. We know how to understand that and be compassionate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like understand it.
Hmm.
But them, because they might have seen one gay dude their entire life. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They've never and and why they'll be like, because you gotta kind of get used to it. They're still like, well, the Bible says it's wrong, and because the Bible says it's wrong, and I ain't trying to hear nothing else about it. And they haven't pushed the country forward. That's what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
find it crazy
Yeah.
that the entire country was basically looking at Georgia to save us in the
Yeah.
Senate race, because I'm like,
It's
yo,
crazy. Yeah.
the country is trying to move forward. We're trying to move forward. We're trying to get better than back in the day. We haven't had a riot like that since 18 something
Yeah.
at the Capitol. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's some old
Yeah.
school craziness right there.
And they're saying they want to
Yeah. Yeah.
save their country. They say they
And
want to
Yeah.
save the country, and it's like, yo, like,
we not
and I
on that
mean,
no more. We trying
yeah,
to do
we're trying to
Yeah.
move
Yeah.
forward. Look at these other countries, man, and that's the thing. I call it the American facade. Automatically, a lot of people
Hmm.
they say you probably heard this that this is the best place in the world to live at. This is the best place to live at in the world. But yet still, there's a country that's right above us, further north,
Yep.
whereas you can stand right beside a police officer and
Yep.
smoke a blunt.
Yep. And you get free healthcare while doing it.
And that is, and the thing about it is, what do they call it over here? That's the terminology to give it for democratic socialism,
Yeah.
and things of that
Socialism.
nature.
Yeah.
Progressive.
These
Yeah.
people do not know what socialism is. I
Right.
kid you not, they do not know
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
socialism is.
They don't.
They
Yeah.
just
They
think
they
that
use that. That's
socialism is like welfare, like people just taking from the country and being
Yeah.
lazy and not
Yeah.
working. That's what they think socialism is.
Well,
They
yeah.
think
That's
they pay
what they
taxes
always
and
throw.
they
Well, even doing the when they were trying to pass the Medicare back in, I think, the 60 Medicare bill, they call that socialism. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So they call a lot. It's just a talking point to kind of filibuster the bills, and it gets out. Fox News throws that mess out there. And
Yep.
it's kind of like a thing to really demonize something. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
yeah, but this
So
is the
yeah.
problem, though. This is what has caused this mess. And initially, um, the threat of people saying that they're social, this is socialism. This is when censorship must be put into effect. When you could tell people a false claim like socialism and all this other stuff, that's not going to come. These people
Yeah.
were defending that. They were coming here to try to save their
Yeah.
country from freaking socialism. That's what they were trying to do. Like, oh, if Biden gets it off, they're going to socialism. When these people do not know the process of our
That's what-
government,
yeah, yeah.
they don't understand American government. The problem is education. These people sit up there.
Yeah.
They hate it. They hate it in school. They got 55s.
Yeah, exactly.
55s on social studies tests. Hated history. Hated failed American government. Now all of a sudden they think that there's some freaking scholar and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the issue, man. This is what
Yeah,
the
no, they
problem
just-
is.
They just repeat talking points. They're not really
Yeah.
scholars. They just repeat talking points. I mean, it's easy to repeat talking points that you ain't looked up. A lot of people read headlines. They don't read articles. They read headlines. You know what I'm
This
saying?
is why
And
this
most
is
of
why
the time,
internet is so dangerous, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
it
Go ahead.
is. You know what I'm saying? No, you know what I'm saying? You know, and for the most part, Republicans, as you guys said, they're more conservative because that's what conservative is mostly sticking to what is. You know,
Right.
and I mean, you go back to the history. Democrats used to be conservative. You know, it was
Yeah.
a switch. You know, my thing is, if a political party's not doing anything for us, specifically as black people, I don't have nothing to do with either one of them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna talk that jive in the cameras, but it's all for them. I mean, even
Right.
this bill, this stimulus they passed right now, a lot of it went to corporations,
Yeah.
but they
Yeah.
want to cut us $600 check. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
both the Democratic and Republican approved of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, regardless of what political party you going to, I mean, you know, if it's not really doing anything for us, you know, it's like that's their fight. You know what I'm saying? That's their
Yeah.
fight that was on their Capitol steps. You know what I'm saying? That's not even
Um,
ours.
Well, a lot of things that happen, like this is why the internet is so crazy, right? Because with the internet, First off, the only goal for a lot of these social media companies is to just keep people on, seeing how long they can keep
Mhm.
people on. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So if
Yeah.
that's the goal, they don't care what party you is. They just want to keep you on.
Mhm.
So if you're
Exactly.
left leaning, they're gonna send you a lot of stuff that support all your crazy left leaning,
Yeah,
thoughts.
yeah,
If you're right
Yeah.
leaning, they're gonna send you all the crazy stuff that support your right leaning
Uh huh.
thoughts.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
Yep.
if you've been getting a steady stream of this for the last 4 years,
Mhm.
brainwash. And
yeah,
then,
Yeah.
and not only are you
Mhm.
brainwashed, you have no idea
Mhm.
why the other side don't see it. You're like, yo, I see stuff like this every
Mhm.
day. Every time I look at my phone, I'm
Mhm.
seeing something else that support my train of thought. You know what I'm
uh-huh,
saying?
yeah,
Not
Mhm.
yeah,
knowing that
Yeah. Yeah.
the internet companies whose goal is to keep
yeah.
you
Those
on their
algorithms
platform,
in effect.
them algorithms,
Yeah.
right? They
Exactly.
keep
Yeah,
Exactly.
feeding you that.
yeah,
So you sitting there
Exactly.
thinking that the
Mhm.
world is this way, and you don't understand why nobody else is seeing it, but you're seeing that because
Yeah.
that's what the internet is
Mhm.
designed to do, and you're losing that fight.
yeah.
Exactly.
And I
Like,
think
you know what I'm saying?
that's kind of what helps me when
Mhm.
I okay, because me, I love debating on Facebook. I love it. That's just a hobby of mine. But you see, with me, I will when I'm sitting there, when I'm at work, sitting in my truck. I'll honestly like if Trump just got off his rally, I'll go and I'll listen to the rally, just see what he's saying.
Yeah.
Then I'll go back, like when they, like when they,
You better than me, man.
no, I mean I can listen to it now. Now look, like look, I can turn. I have to, man. I have to do myself that service because here's I don't want to look at one. I don't want to be back in that same mentality of turning on just one particular thing, turning on JW.org and stuff like. I don't want to be like that. I want to know everything.
Yeah.
So it's like this. When
Yeah.
CNN
Yeah.
said that Trump's lawyers said they're not claiming voter fraud.
Like,
So I went back and I pulled the court transcripts. And I actually tried to I actually fact checked CNN and see what what they were actually saying. Then I saw it on there. I said, "Oh, well, they did say that." They said the judge said, "Are you claiming that these 592 ballots in Pennsylvania were fraudulent?" No, we're not saying that. That's what the actual attorney said. We're not saying that. We're just
yeah,
claiming there's some irregularities. So
yeah,
irregularity, if you know, irregularity is like it's something that is questioned. Like how are these ballots for this person? That's irregular.
right,
Well, how are
Right.
these people voting? How did
Mhm.
Biden get all these votes?
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Something
And
that's happening
Mhm.
every single election. Like
yeah,
those
and
same
and
irregularities.
Yeah.
initially,
Yeah.
what the
Yeah.
problem is that
Yeah.
Trump he held rallies during the pandemic that had whole super spreader events. They had all these people. A
Mhm.
lot of their jobs are shut down because of COVID and everything like that. So what are you gonna do? Oh, we're gonna go to the Trump. We're gonna go to the Trump rally. Donald Trump is out there for us. Then when you see Biden coming out, Biden didn't come out till later on. You know, he gets up there and he may have cars, beep, 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 you know, when he says something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Uh,
Well, you know, maybe about 8 cars or something like that out there, something like that. Then they're like, oh, yeah, we got this in the bag. Unbeknownst to them, a lot of people were at home, either being essential workers or working or just at home trying to make ends meet. And
right.
saying that, oh, we want to get
mhm.
this orange windbag out of office.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's like
Yeah.
they're going off the fact that that Biden didn't hold super spreader events. They're judging it off of that. You know
because
what I'm
he was
saying?
responsible. They're like, there wasn't
Yeah,
nobody
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
How could you? How can he
Uh
get
huh.
80 million votes and wasn't nobody there? And
Oh my
that's
right.
God.
and I tell the same people the same
Yeah.
stuff. Like, I've never attended not one Joe Biden event.
Me neither.
None.
Mm.
I voted for the guy.
Yeah.
You know.
I
And-
listen to Trump.
Yeah.
I give Trump. I ain't mean to cut y'all off,
Mhm.
but I listen to Trump. I listen to Trump more than Biden. Honestly, and
Facts.
truthfully, I
Facts.
listen to Trump more than Biden. You know, because Biden, for one, he's older, and it's like he's just like that regular news. You know, I listen to what to the facts of what he said. You know, if he said something that was kind of norm. But the only time I gave Biden some real time was when that fake thing was coming out online about him trying to say that if he loses, then his supporters are going to ravage the place, burn and loot.
That's what somebody said he said.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's the people who did it. The people who did that mess on January 6th. That's the one who saying he
That's,
did it.
yo, just got this.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. I know Tommy. Yeah, I know who Tommy Lauren is. You know who Tommy Lauren is?
Yeah. I know you, Tommy Lauren.
Okay,
Yeah.
that same
Yeah, I know-
girl.
yeah, I know
she
who you-
said when Donald Trump wins, Uh, everything's like the Biden supporters are gonna go out and they're gonna burn and loot. But if Donald Trump were to lose, and he's not, his supporters would just go back to work and doing what they always do because that's what they do. Turns out
Yeah,
they
yeah,
go to the Capitol and try to mount an insurrection. But
yeah, yeah,
the point is
exactly.
is that it's just so crazy all the stuff that constantly comes out, and just like with JW stuff, the overlapping generation, you have actual proof of what happened,
Hmm.
and you just literally choose to believe something else because it don't fit your
Yeah,
narrative. It doesn't fit the
yeah.
story that you need to be truth in your head. Like, come
Hmm.
on,
Hmm.
man. You should People supposed to know better than that. But
So when it comes to this whole
Yeah.
narrative thing, and we can end it off at this point because I got to. I was trying to fire up the grill later, on. but but anyway, this whole thing about this narrative. You
mm,
know, a lot of times people they're like, I heard this quote made before. What I'm gonna quote somebody what they said. It was like, "Well, I believe in this because I'm sick of the narrative. They're sick of, I guess, their side that they've chosen the wrong side of history. That they want to believe this side. This is the right information. You know,
mhm,
and it's just I just find it I find it very sad when there's people that I actually know. You know, for a while since
Hmm.
I came out, you know, of the organization, people that actually know, and here it is. You can. It takes point 0.9 seconds to fact check their information, but yet still they still want to believe in this because they said they don't no longer want to follow the narrative. I mean,
Yeah.
is shouldn't real events be your narrative? You know what I'm saying? It's not hard to look up
Yeah.
information to find out if it's truth or not. Like for instance, somebody said that oh, Trump under Obama gas prices were the highest. They were the lowest under Trump.
Hmm.
When it's like in
Yeah.
actuality, okay, that year that you're crediting, that you're giving Trump, Trump wasn't in office. Obama was during that tenure. You know,
Uh-huh.
2016. That's
Yeah.
when they were in the all-time low. Who shared that was Eric Trump. But then they accuse you of believing in
Yeah.
fake news and believing in and being
Yeah.
brainwashed by CNN. And it's like, yo, and a
yes,
person like myself,
lighty.
I'm like, yo, I don't even I fact check
uh,
CNN. Okay, I know the whole thing about the
yeah.
Charlottesville thing with Donald Trump saying there was, there was good people on both sides. Okay, you can go back, you can look at what was actually said. What he actually said. Okay, they took certain things out of context, they put it right there. Shouldn't said it. I mean, but that's how
Hmm.
they can reach a little bit.
They
You know
do.
what I'm saying?
And I
So
hate that
it's
they do that too because they
yeah,
don't have
yeah,
to. He
Hmm.
gives you more than enough
Yeah. You.
ammunition to be
yeah,
just
Exactly.
exactly,
crazy.
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah,
Most definitely.
I
Yeah.
think they
Most
do that
definitely.
mostly
You
for
know.
like sensationalism, though. Like they just want to get as many clicks as possible. So this is
yeah,
a little bit more
Hmm.
sensationalism,
yeah.
but still crazy.
Yeah.
Still, a
Well,
girl got killed.
but yeah. No, I'm saying that to go. Marvin saying that a lot of times what you believe about reality is comfortable to believe that. Just like a Jehovah's Witness, man, it was comfortable to believe that in the future there's going to be a paradise and all this stuff. It's comfortable to believe that. It's scary to really look outside the box and find out that that's false because you have to step outside the box, and outside the box is unknown and scary. So people want to stay in that box because they're scared of what's unknown. And the same thing with the narrative. A lot of people, they do cognitive dissonance so they can stay inside that box. They're sheltered inside of there. Once you step outside that box, it's no telling what's out there. I'm scared. So I'm going to ignore everything out there, ignore what you're saying, because in my mind, if I can stay in this box, man, my life is going to be good. If I
Yep.
go out there, I might actually kill myself because it's too scary out there, man. But my leader told me out there, it might actually be out there, but I'm not going to actually go look because I'm been so sheltered my whole life. It's hard to even go out there, and a lot of people
Man,
they
Man,
actually
that
kill
sound
themselves.
familiar, don't it?
Yeah, I did a
Yeah, yeah.
social. I do a lot of social experiments, and when I first came back to work, I had this individual that was riding in a truck, helping me on a truck, and so then I think I was on YouTube when I work. I have YouTube on, and so then Donald Trump ad came on there. He was like, "Oh yeah, that's my boy," and I said, "I'm gonna try something." So then I was like, "Yeah," I was sitting there riding, riding, and I said, "Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm conservative, right?" I said, yeah, I'm conservative, right? He said, oh, yeah, you are. So then we start talking. So I start using their talking points, you know what I'm saying? Giving him my spiel about, I didn't really say anything like derogatory about black people, but, I was like, yeah, I don't really understand the Black Lives Matter movement. I mean, he fell right into it. He asked me, I told him I was libertarian, by the way. And so then he asked me, he says, have you gone down a rabbit hole yet? And I said, a rabbit hole? And now that's when I was like, oh, I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, snap, my cover's about to be blown. so, and so he said, oh, yeah, to go down a rabbit hole. I'm going to send you some stuff. He said, yeah, it's had a whole bunch of stuff about Obama this. And the new one now is that this is the new one that they're going to try, is that it's called Italian Illegate. This is the new one, Illegate. And basically what it means is that Obama got somebody over there, has colluded with someone over there in Italy, in Rome, and that is what has affected the voting machines here. It's called Itallygate. This is the new one.
I have the Spygate, man. We gonna just go over that. That didn't pan out, so we just gonna skip that one, huh? Okay.
All
right.
This is the new one. You can look it up. This is the new one. It's always Obama. It's always Obama. Why is it always Obama?
Everything Obama.
Why can it be? Why can it be? What's radical liberal Raphael Warnock? Why can't it be him?
Yeah.
Why ain't he?
Because he's not bronze. That's why he's not bronze.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I got to go, man. I got to get back to my little family. I was going to try to fire the grill. I think it done got dark a little bit. Who cares? I can still light something up.
Man, you can grill in the dark.
So
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, you been doing the dark. Yeah. So we can close.
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we close out. So.
Yeah.
So I'll let you guys say your final piece and then we'll close out, man. Yeah, thank you, Jay, for coming on, man. I didn't expect you to come on.
Event, man. I didn't think you was even gonna come on, man.
Hey, I'm sitting here chilling. Thank you, baby girl. Appreciate it. I'm sitting here chilling, and I saw you send me the message. I'm like, I'm free for a little bit. The kids they kind of chilling, so let me hop on. I've been wanting to hop on. I see y'all doing y'all thing, so I'm like, yeah, I'll definitely hop on with them brothers and see what's up. But more than anything, to the people out there who are falling into like a certain mindset or whatever, I just need people to remember the principles that freed them from any other cult that they may have been in, or the things that save you in general. Whenever your life is threatened, or whenever there's something inside of you that says, hey, watch out, be careful, you need to listen to that. You need to pay attention. You need to be open to information, because if you're not open to information, you're subject to falling for a lot of things that can hurt you. Information, for the most part, is not there to hurt you. It's there to protect you. So if you got information and you think you got the right information, if counter information comes, you still got to look at it. Because if you do not and like seriously look at it and seriously consider it, if you just automatically, that's fake news or whatever, that limits the information you get. And if you're getting all your information from one side, you will one day regret that. So going through life, be open to any and all information, and have confidence in yourself to make the right decisions. Just listen to all the information, listen to both sides, and let your common sense at the end of the day rule the day. You know what I mean? Like, common sense has to rule the day whenever you're processing information. So just going forward, make sure that you take in all information. I don't care what side it's from, and balance it out, and make sure that you're making correct decisions. And that should help you and protect you going forward in life, because the internet, it has a lot of phony information on there, and it's so bad that they have information backing up the phony information. So try to learn about research and actual research. Looking at YouTube videos all day and Facebook posts is not research. You have to actually look up, pull out. Yeah, you got to pull out calculators, and you got to look at federal documents and stuff like that. It's hard and it's unpleasant. But if you're actually about getting to the truth and getting real knowledge, you got to do that. So That's why I tell
Yeah.
people don't be sending me no whole bunch of YouTube videos of, oh, look how he broke this down. Like,
Yeah,
who is this guy? Like, I can literally get on my YouTube and break
Yeah,
something
exactly.
down. Like,
yeah.
I've gotten on there
Exactly.
thinking I had the truth and I was wrong, and I had to bring the video down. You know what I'm saying? Like, it
Uh-huh.
happens to the best of us, but at the end of the day, you have to be able to listen to all information. So that's all I want to leave off with.
Good, good stuff, man. You want to say something, Marvin? Good,
Now
good
he
stuff.
pretty
Good
much
stuff, Jay.
said everything. He pretty much said everything that saying that I usually say, and the way I look at it is this: like a lot of times we're dealing with emotions. You know, we've been this country has taken a real hit. What people cannot understand is that when it comes to Donald Trump, one thing that's imperative to watch those debates that they were having. They were having Trump's debates with the other Republicans in order for him to get to debating Hillary. Look at those.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to what they were saying about him. I think it was Ted Cruz. He was up there, was he not? Yeah. And one
Said
thing that
Ted Cruz's father killed JFK.
right, right,
Man.
and he was saying that you're going to when you if you do win, you're going to tell so many lies. Actually said this. And what do you have? You have a product of that. But do you think that people actually care about it or actually will go back and look at that? The GOP actually said that, okay, they looked at Trump as sort of it was a big red, I want to say red flag, and also too, he's going to cause a lot of danger for them. And that's what has happened. Everything, a lot of stuff that he touches, it goes down the drain. The stuff with I don't think they can ever recover from this. I mean, I just do not think there's gonna be a Green Party gonna pop up or something like that. I mean, he has caused so much damage to them, man. I do believe this is the reason why they did not win in Georgia. How are you going to sit there and tell a whole bunch of people that the election machines are fraudulent? When in reality, all a person has to do, and this goes back to doing research, Jay, what you were saying, going back and finding out which machines use Dominion. But people don't understand that the machines that use Dominion, they were in counties that Trump won. So it's like, always fact check yourself. Always look for the information. Look for what is truth. Don't just look for one person saying something. I just don't like us. I just don't like seeing people get back in that same mode. You know what I'm saying? And it's tough because you want people to have their own opinions. You want people to be able to believe what they want to believe. Same thing with religion. People, they might be in African spirituality. Some people might be like as a Christian. You know what I'm saying? But then here it is. It's like when it comes to this, when it comes to politics, and it comes to things that's dealing with it now, because a lot of times religion has to deal with so much as it don't have to deal with so much as what's going on in your community, so to say. When it comes to helping, yeah, it does. But what I mean is that can it affect, saying your livelihood and stuff like that? It's like you have to take a different mode in a sense. So what I'm getting at is that people have to actually find out what's real, because it can actually cause damage. The damage that was done on last Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I got to say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it.
Right.
Well
Yeah.
said, brother.
All right. So yeah, let me close out also, man. I would say, truthfully told, man, I believe that if this pandemic didn't hit, I do believe Trump would have actually won the election.
Yeah,
I
do
think
too.
this pandemic affected it, and his supporters don't understand that. But you gotta ask yourself, man, that lady that got killed for him, is he gonna show his fat ass at her funeral? Is he sending condolences to her? No, this dude is out there golfing. Once he leaves the office, he's going on about his day. He cares less about any of you guys. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what people need to understand is that when it comes to the government, you have three branches. When it comes to policy, the Congress is the one you guys need to be focusing on, and your local election, because you're gonna be more affected by that. But we looking at Trump like he's the end all be all. Once you get to that point, I think you're long gone. But as they used to tell us, man, if you don't like the way the country's going, they tell us go back to Africa. If you don't like the way the country going, in words of Eddie Griffith, take your ass back to bloody fucking England. That's all I gotta say, man. Y'all have y'all a good one, man.
All right, man. Peace.